All right, then when you deliver the diagnosis, right? A lot of times you and the Ray are going to come, as the coach and the Ray are going to come up with the same diagnosis, right? You're going to agree and you're going to say, all right, this is what the problem is. Now, what's frequently the best thing to do is, what else did you consider? What was your backup, right? Because everyone's always going to have a backup. Well, this is the main thing, but this is the backup. And there's this other thing over there too. It's important to just focus on the one, but that's going to happen. And then you start to formulate your conclusion, right? Start to make the case for why that's the thing. But also, what will often happen is you'll have different diagnoses, right? People are notoriously bad at self-diagnosis. They'll turn a blank, right? They'll be like, I don't know, right? Or they'll go to skills because it's really easy to be like, oh, I need these skills, these aptitudes, these mindsets. It's really easy to get sucked into this area over here. But oftentimes it's actually a morale problem. Sometimes it's an array material problem, and other times it's going to be an array way or a method problem, right? When this happens, as the coach, your job is simply to say, this is my diagnosis. You've heard theirs, and now you're going to deliver theirs, right? To tell them what yours is. And then once you've delivered your diagnosis, you say, but that's just what I think. I'm not inside your head. I don't know everything. That's just my diagnosis. What do you think? Am I right? Right now, the key thing that I want you guys to remember is when you deliver that am I right diagnosis, right? People will, if you've got trust, then they'll argue with you if you're wrong, right? And that's not a bad thing. You're seeking truth here. So when you deliver the diagnosis, deliver it with kindness, but be firm and be able to describe why you think what you think. All right, now I want to address one thing. It's the 80-20 rule here. All right, I call this acting like an owner. So sometimes you're going to find that the problem is external. My boss, the company, the person that I'm reporting to at the client. It's going to be something external, right? Sometimes they'll say, well, the tools are not letting me do it, right? If that's the case, address it. But you should expect that 1 out of 5 problems will be external and 4 out of 5 will be internal. It's probably more like 90-10 versus 80-20, but I'm trying to be generous here. The truth is that the vast majority of performance problems can be discovered elsewhere than in the lower right-hand corner of the chart on the technology tools and processes. Okay, so now we get to the prescription. Okay, we've gone through the building rapport and trust, diagnostic, creating a coaching moment, and now we're on to prescription. All right, now ours need to be fire and forget because remember, we're trying to get 1 million people coached over the next 10 years, right? That is an incredibly ambitious goal. Now, training apps are going to be the main thing that we can prescribe. Just like a doctor can prescribe medicine, we're going to have training apps, right? We're not going to have a training app for everything to begin with, but eventually we're going to have an app for that, right? So whenever possible, we want to make these things self-paced as possible, requiring minimal follow-up on the part of the coach. We're going to be building technology that's going to help with the follow-up. So the longer we do this, the more those things can be automated, the more those things can be set up to make it easy for the coach to know who to reach out to. That's what the coaching CRM is. Frequently, especially at the beginning, there's not going to be a training app for that, right? When that happens, ping the central PME team through your general manager, through the GM, and find out if we can build something, right? We are gearing ourselves up to be able to turn out training apps quickly. If you don't find what you're looking for, ask somebody. We need that feedback in order to keep getting better. Sometimes you're going to run across things where you're like, man, I just can't, nothing on here seems to fit. This person's problem is not taken care of on here. When that happens, escalate it to the GM, and we're hiring a head of coaching shortly who's going to be the head of coaching for the entire organization. And if, depending on when you watch this, that person may already be on board, but bring those problems with the model to that head of coaching. That way we can continue to adapt this model and make it better. All right, a couple more thoughts I want to give you on coaching. So the goal of coaching, please stick this in your head. I know you're probably getting bored of me saying it, but please get this in there, right? I want to also point out that there are 2 types of coaching. There's the professional coaches. They focus on duration, right? Loving the job, seeing exciting future for them, growth and stick, right? These guys, the professional coach is fully on the Raise team. The other arm is the performance coach, right? They're the ones who are fully focused on performance, right? They care about the Ray very much, but they need to pay attention to the needs of the client. All right. That's where the two of them are like the yin and the yang working together to support that Ray. Anything that we do at scale, we've got to have that coaching CRM that I mentioned, right? This is the tool. CRM is customer relationship management. This is a coaching CRM. It's a tool to manage all the relationships with all the ways that they achieve the goal. We have a 1.5 version of it, which means it's a spreadsheet still that we're managing, and we're building in all of the elements of the human capital equation into it. It will soon be a piece of technology, and there will be a training app to teach you how to use it. All right, final couple of points on coaching methodologies. We're going to have personas. These are archetypes of rays that we have that give us shortcuts and ways to like quickly adapt our coaching methodology to the person. Touch points. This is one of the things from the learning objectives. Touch point is just a quick check-in, right? A bunch of different types of touch points that the coaching CRM is going to help guide. Next thing is coaching moments. All right, coaching moments. These are your emotional context for change. Coaches have to create this. This can be automated many times. All right, final thing is every Ray I mentioned is going to be on a leadership journey. That leadership journey, that Ray journey is going to be mapped out with all the beats necessary to make somebody have a really successful career with us, where they love their job, are great at it, see an exciting future of themselves, grow, and stick. Final thing is just we're going to be building into the tools some mentorship and community capabilities. This will be coming with time, but as a coach, know that you're not alone. There are other people around who you can connect the Ray with who can take some of the burden of helping them be successful. And remember, the Ray stuff is everything. If they are hungry to prove themselves and to grow, then they've got what it takes to take your coaching and run with it. Thank you so much.